Yo, what's going on? A pluses, nerd mixes. It is your boy Indy Uchiha, and I'm here to bring you the review for Heels, episode 3, Cheap Heat. Uh this episode was different, but really showed the aspect of what they're taking when it comes to this show, you know what I'm saying, in particular. And I'm really digging what they're doing story-wise because it feels like um it kind of feels like they want to be bigger than life when it comes to what they're doing with this show, but keeping it contained in the small world, you know what I'm saying, that it's actually bigger than what it really is. I like that whole aspect of the show. But cheap heat, for anybody who doesn't know who heat is, heat can be a good thing or a bad thing. It's basically the attention that the crowd is giving any particular wrestler in terms of heat, whether they're booing you or cheering you. That was a big aspect of this episode through the entire thing. This opens very dark though, because it shows Jack and Ace father. He looks like he's training, just doing everyday stuff, running. People are saying hi to him. He's very well known. Runs past the DWL, gets home, mows the lawn, hangs his wife name up above the garden. You know what I'm saying? It looked real nice. And from the aspect of what you see it as, it looks like a man who's having a normal day, you know, a good man. Who's just doing, not only running his own company but taking care of everything at home, right? Then you get this mislead, like this little misleading thing where you see a deer like eating his wife's garden. And the first thing I think, and I see this, I'm like, oh, maybe that's a sign, you know what I'm saying, of better things to come. Or maybe he's tired of deer eating his wife's garden because he walks to the house and gets it done. So me thinking of where they're at, oh, he's gonna shoot this, he's gonna skin it, he's gonna make up, you know what I'm saying, a nice venison stew or venison dinner or something for the family. Nah, this man walks to the back porch, puts the gun to the bottom of his, you know what I'm saying, to his chin, blows his brains out. And it just so happens that Ace was home. And this is a full-grown Ace, because you got to remember that I think going in storyline, I might be off by a year or two. I think their father's only been dead for like a year or two. You know what I'm saying? So this is something very recent for them to happen. It's not like their dad died when they were children, right? And so Ace is the one that comes outside and finds his father dead. This starts to, you know what I'm saying, inform you on why Ace is having these depression problems, or why he's trying to be, he doesn't want to be booed. His dad was always a face, you know, like and possibly why the animosity between Ace and Jack is hitting so hard, because this is a fresh wound, something that's going on. Now this episode runs around Ace being able to get back over with the fans, you know, because he cried in the ring. The fans will not look at him at, they're not taking him as you think they would. You know what I'm saying? Like a good guy who's breaking down to where he had enough, to where, you know what I'm saying, he starts shedding tears because of his own family betraying him, because of how Ace portrays himself in real life. You know, he's kind of a dick. So they're not rocking with him being a face, right? Then you have all the other things that's happening backstage, with Rooster being upset just in general, because he's been wrestling for years. He was like a child prodigy. He started at 16. He has never held a title. He has been through different leagues. He thought when Jack took over, everything would be different. Right? Incredible athlete, incredible in the ring, was not getting any push for anything, but won't talk to Jack about what's going on. He feels like it's a racial thing, you know what I'm saying, among other things. He's finding every excuse that he can make in the book on why he's not in the title picture, right? But even after having a talk with Jack, Jackie was telling him, like, you're the most talented person here. It just doesn't fit for the story for you to be in that role yet, which is understandable. And it feels like he's got the fans over, but he doesn't have the fans over it championship over, which could probably be alleviated if the DWL had more talent and had more belts. But we're getting that later. That's like getting into like real wrestling and what's going on, instead of what's, I was gonna say, instead of what's scripted. Like real wrestling isn't scripted, but you guys know what I mean. It doesn't go with the story of what's moving forward, right? And so knowing that that happened to their dad, you understand why they're going through what they're going through and why Jack is also dealing with being a bad father, bad husband, you know what I'm saying, like that self and his wife. His wife Stacy is meeting some friends who drove up to meet her. She wasn't able to go meet them wherever they were at, so they came to come check in on her, see what's going on. They're having like a nice dinner and everything. And then you get one of the, because she's like local famous, you know what I'm saying? She's the wife of the guy who runs the DWL and who's the DWL champion. So for their little town, it's a big thing. But in the scope of how Stacy looks at the world, her friends are doing big things and she's stuck in this little town, not being able to do nothing. So it's all about perspective. And we've seen her playing the guitar, singing and stuff like that. So it almost feels like she's giving up on her dreams in order to attach herself to what's going on with Jack. You know what I'm saying? Everything revolves around what Jack wants to do, and she feels trapped, like she's not able to do what she wants to do. Um, which is a very interesting aspect in that and what's going on, because that's a normal day-to-day thing. When it comes to myself and the podcast and stuff that I do, the fact that this is a job for me. It is, you know what I'm saying, a big chunk of my income. I end up spending a lot of time editing, shooting podcasts, streaming, doing other things like that, that it may take away a little bit, you know what I'm saying, from my family time and all that. But it's always good to have an understanding partner. And it just feels like they're not compromising with each other. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to what's going on with that. So that dynamic in their relationship is just another roadblock that Jack has to get over, you know, in this series. So it's interesting to me uh what's going to give in the end, because he seems like he's on bad terms with everybody, whether except for Willie. Uh but it even might be with Willie, because Willie looks like she's ready to just be done with struggling and everything that's going on as far as the DWL goes, but she just has a passion for wrestling. Um so let's get into the fact that um Jack has Ace set up in the main event, you know what I'm saying, to win the fans back, put him in there against the newbie, the new guy. And Rooster has an issue with that. Like, how is the guy who's fresh, who could even do an elbow drop, you know what I'm saying, the other day, in the main event against Ace? You know, like, Jack really doesn't care about us. It's all about what's going to happen with his story, with what he has going on. So that's interesting to me too, in that aspect where other people understand what's going on, but they're putting Big Bobby in the match, and Big Bobby doesn't know, you know what I'm saying, his left hand for his right when it comes to wrestling. So, and then even with that, the little things that they do with character development with each individual character, with the little screen time that they do have, when it comes to Bobby and the relationship he has with his parents, he's calling his parents, he's working at a strip club part-time in order to get money. Then he's wrestling. He's got this big main event match coming up. He's calling his parents really excited, and his parents don't even answer. He's talking to a voicemail. So it's one of two things. I'm wondering if Bobby's parents are alive, or if his parents don't support what he's doing and just don't want to talk to him. So that's interesting to me, and to learn more about that, because that has a lot to do with what the character of Bobby is, because he's just a wholesome good old boy. You know what I'm saying? Is just trying to find his way in the world and do this thing that he loves, that he fell in love with. Um, he reminds me of a lot of the wrestlers in real life that come in and they're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed until the medium chews them up and spits them out, and they become different people. So I'm looking to see and wondering how he ends up. You know what I'm saying? As the series goes on, do his eyes darken any to what wrestling is and everything, especially watching what Ace and Jack go through, because Jack does a good job at hiding what's going on. So I'm curious in that aspect to see what happens. uh but you get Stacy sitting down with her friends. They get a waiter that comes up that's just totally excited to see her, and wondering what's happening with Ace, wondering if everything that's happening is part of the storyline, or if it really happened, if the beef is real. Her friends get excited about what's going on, because Stacy never let her know, like they didn't even know that her husband was running it, that her husband is a wrestler. So this is all coming shock to him, because Stacy seems like she's kind of embarrassed about where her life is at. But by the end of everything that's going on, her friends look like she has a cool life. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if Stacy sees that because there's so much more of the world she wants to see that she's closed in on this box. It's kind of like all them Disney movies when the princesses have only been inside this castle and they want to see the world. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. And they don't understand how good their life is until they go out and experience the world and then find out that home is actually where they want to be type storyline. So that's interesting, all the different threads that they're putting in this show that just they got a little bit of something for everybody, and that's making me really excited to watch this every week. All right, so if friends go, they're amazed and shocked, they're into Ace. Their friends are looking at her like, man, that's your husband, you know, when he gets into the main event and stuff like that. So Ace comes out, does his little baby face promo, right? Doesn't go over at all. They're booing him. They're throwing tissue at him because he cried. It is hilarious to me that they're throwing tissues. I love wrestling fans, right? They got that whole aspect of how wrestling fans really react, just down pack. So he walks out. He's all upset. He goes outside. He talks to Rooster. Rooster tells him his story about everything that's going on. And then Ace just sits there and relates to it. And Rooster's like, how do you relate to what I'm going through? You know what I'm saying? Like, you getting everything handed. So you can just see it. And he doesn't say it, but you can see it in his eyes. And the Rooster tells him about the difference between heels and faces. You know what I'm saying? And that was the whole thing about let the crowd create what you're gonna be, and then you know what I'm saying, turn into that. You know what I'm saying, for that ride with it. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to the WWE wanted to make Roman Reigns a face for all them years when he was just born to be a heel, and the minute he flips the heel, everybody loves him. You know, well, the big cameo in this episode was my man CM Punk. CM Punk, who played Ricky Rabies. It was I did not know CM Punk could act. All right. Now this is interesting to me. And because Ricky is so what, he's like a underground popular, you know what I'm saying? He's like a cultural icon in wrestling. May not have been the biggest name, but all the fans love him. He's a draw. It was a very smart move for Jack to bring him in to draw the fans in so that when Ace did his whole stick, that fans were there to watch. But Ace is concerned because he feels like since Jack and Ricky are in the main event, well, or right before the main event, that Ricky Rabies being brought in was really the true main event because of how popular he is. And Ace is like, no, we're just the opener. We're there to set up for what you're gonna do. So we're the match right ahead of you. So Ricky Rabies comes in, does his thing. CM Punk totally kills it in this episode. He brings in his valet with him, Vicky and his son Wolfgang, right? It's like a family affair. Now, Vicky being there, you would just coming off, you would think it was his wife, right? Bonnie Somerville plays Nikki. If you guys don't know, she's been in Nash Bridges, Blue Bloods, Law and Order, Love You Like Christmas, NYPD Blue. Like her catalog of television and movies that she's been on is like 2 pages on IMDb. After I checked her out, I remembered her having like small cameos, like in Spider-Man. I think it was Spider-Man 2 as a screaming civilian or something like that. It's interesting to me how many different roles she has. So actually seeing her have a long cut and the way she acted was honestly and really dope. And I love the fact that they're giving these people who have a long cut, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to acting and different stuff. Might have a bunch of small roles, giving them something prominent, even if it's an episode or two, to be able to show their acting chops and come along instead of getting a whole bunch of big names, you know what I'm saying, to be a part of what's going on. So that was interesting. She had a lot of interaction with Crystal and telling Crystal how valet work works, how you attach yourself to that person in order to be there for life. So Crystal starts going right along with, Vicky tells her to do. And then it's crazy by the end of the episode when you get Ricky and his son and Vicky getting ready to leave, you know what I'm saying? He's like, come on, we gotta go. I told so and so I'll be back in like 7 hours at such and such time, and we got like a 6-7 hour drive. And it was his wife. And then Crystal said, like, what? And then Vicky like posts her signs, tells like, I didn't say it was, was that. It's just, you know what I'm saying, making sure you can get what you need to get done, do whatever you need to do. So that again I believe is going to have a strong effect on Crystal and Ace's relationship, because Crystal has the chops to be a wrestler. She does not need Ace, but she doesn't have the shot to be who she can be, because they're not looking at it as a wrestler. They're looking at it in the old school vein of her just being a valet. She's like the only other female that I see there. I don't even see any other women valets. So it's interesting how that goes. But Ricky has an interesting introduction entrance that you guys need to check out. It's really cool when you watch the episode. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. The episode with the fight, the match with Ricky and Jack was really, really good. And then Jack comes out of the ring, gets to the back. Ace is nowhere to be found. You know, he needs to go out there and do his thing. So Willie's talking to Jack, like, what do you want to do? He's like, I have to go out there, just cue my music. You know what I'm saying? He sends Bobby out there. Here comes Ace. Him and Ace have an argument. They cue Ace's music. Ace goes out there and wrestles the match as a full heel. He has a heel turn right there. And everybody's looking because it's captivating. They're booing him. He beats down Bobby, all heel type stuff. Comes to the back, you know, yelling at the crowd, this is what you wanted? I hate you. Like, really letting it out. But the problem is, this is how he really feels. It's not him out there acting. He's really putting his real feelings into what's going on, right? So they get into argument and everything that's going on. I don't remember exactly in the episode what happened, but this really meant something to me, because they're arguing about their dad. And then, you know what I'm saying, Jack pulls Ace to the side and looks dead and just like whisper to him, Dad knew you were home. And then just the look on Ace's face when he said that. You know what I'm saying? In the conversation that they had, he even called Willie a female dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like he was just full. He was like, this is what you want me to be. You want to be a heel that bull with me. Because that's not, he wants to be so much like with the image he has in his head of what his father was, rather than who his father really is. I feel like Jack knew exactly who their father was, right? But he's trying to let this image of the good person that his father was live, you know what I'm saying, live on. You know, but he knew exactly who his dad was. It's crazy. And then you get Willie and something going on with Willie and Wild Bill. I don't know if they used to be together or something like that, but Wild Bill ends up at our house, like he's like high or drunk or something, like, you know what I'm saying, I messed up. And she had been ignoring his calls. So it's interesting on what's happening in that aspect. I want to see more of that broken down. But the argument between Stacy and Jack to end the show, you know, when with her just want to go on vacation and him having all the excuses in the world of why they couldn't, it's really interesting to me. This show is just really good, man. If you ever got a chance to check it out, I would say if you're a fan of wrestling, to me, this is a must watch. Or if you're a fan of Stephen Amell and you want to see him do something other than put on green spandex and shoot arrows, this would be a good watch for you too. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode in the comments below, right? Don't forget to subscribe to A+ Opinions up there somewhere. I don't know. It's a new overlay. It's like over there somewhere. Make sure you follow me at Nerd Mix Alpha everywhere. Stream my music. Just search me on all streaming platforms. Indie Uchiha. If you hit me at Nerd Mix Alpha on Instagram, if you follow me at Nerd Mix Alpha on Instagram, and then you take a screenshot of you listening to one of my songs on whatever platform it is and send me that, or post it on your Instagram and then tag me in it, bro, I'll let you get a t-shirt of your choice, whether it's an A+Hero Report t-shirt, whether one of these Indie Uchiha Nerd Mix t-shirts. I'll show you a couple of designs and you guys can get some free t-shirts. So make sure you do that. All right. Check that out. But you got to subscribe, follow, listen to the music and everything on all our platforms to, you know, get that done. But until next time, guys, this is Mr. Nerd Mix himself. Keep it A+. You already know. Hey, Adam, tell them about that Patreon, boy.
If you enjoy our content and want to be a part of helping our channel grow, become a patron supporter. We have affordable tiers to choose from that offer a variety of exclusive and early access content, from audio files for all of our shows for you to enjoy on the road, access to our Discord community, and plenty of reactions, reviews, character breakdowns, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/A+opinions. And as always, remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime we drop a brand new video, you will be notified.